YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington football team video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to talk about should Washington trade for Russell Wilson? What would it take to trade for Russell Wilson? And ultimately, is Russell Wilson even interested in coming to DC? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington football team. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. We're almost there, so let's get there. Thank you so much, and let's get straight into today's video. So this is going to be a super fun video to make, because if you guys don't know, Russell Wilson is my favorite NFL player. I'm talking all 32 teams' favorite players. Russell Wilson is #1. Obviously, Terry is now my #1 favorite, like, as a whole. But if we're talking non-Washington football team related, Russell Wilson is that guy, and he's been that guy for the longest. But since Terry came in the league in 2019 and he teared it up, Terry became my favorite player in 2019. But before that, Russell Wilson was my favorite player as a whole, like in the whole league, and that still is today if we're counting non-Washington players. I love Russell Wilson, man. Again, it started because when I was super young, 2012 wild card game, a lot of people said I look like Russell Wilson. I never saw it. I still don't see it to this day. But somebody said he could be my brother. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that's the first reason why I really liked Russell Wilson. And he's obviously a super good player. And again, I just fell in love with his game, man. Short guy, and still was killing it. You know what I'm saying? And he was electrifying to watch. He still is, even though he's coming off of a down year. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And that brings up the question, should Washington trade for Russell Wilson? The reason why I even made this video is because I've seen a couple beat reporters and journalists say, if I'm Washington, I'm interested in Russell Wilson, and if I'm Russell Wilson, I'm interested in Washington. Like I said when I made a video on Derek Carr and Deshaun Watson, I was naive to all three of these guys months ago. I was like, there's no chance Washington is going to be interested in these guys. There's no chance they even want to come here, so I'm not even going to entertain it. But as the months go on, I am becoming a little optimistic of getting one of these three guys. I honestly just think Ron Rivera, going into his 3rd year, he's going to be desperate for a franchise quarterback. So he's going to try to pull all the tools out of the bag to maybe even get a trade, to draft somebody. He's desperate. He has to find this guy. He knows not time is ticking, but he knows fans are getting impatient. I mean, we've been impatient because we've been through, you know, misery and just terrible play for 30+ years. But he knows fans are getting desperate. Again, I think this is a team that is ready to win, but they just need a quarterback. And we got to find that guy, and I think this is going to be a chance for Washington to really make a move at one of these guys, whether it's the draft or trade. And I think Russell Wilson, a lot of people say he doesn't want to come to Washington. Sierra doesn't want to come to Washington, or Virginia for that matter. Man, no offense to Russ's wife, but this is his career. You know what I'm saying? You know, wherever Russ go, you got to go. You know, this is his career. He can get traded at any moment, and you'll have to be fine with it. So I don't think, and Sierra doesn't seem like that kind of lady to just say, oh, I'm not gonna go where he goes because I don't like it there. Again, it's his job, you know, and he is her husband. So wherever he goes, she's gonna go. And again, this is home for Russell Wilson, the DMV. He's a Virginia native. So I think he would be fond of coming here. I really do. Now, what would we give up for Russ? Now, that's why I've been contemplating. In previous years, I'm saying, oh, I'll give up a first, even possibly 2 firsts. Now he's coming off of a down year. He's getting older. We may have some leverage when we're talking to Seattle. We may say a first this year and a second this year, or a first this year and a second next year. See what happens. I don't think Russ is worth 2 first-round picks anymore. Again, he's, what, 33 now, and he's coming off of a down year. Had injuries, but even when he played, he just didn't look the best. Was overshooting DK Metcalf. Their whole offense is just terrible. He never has a line, and it starts with their play caller, you know. So I really do think Russ could be on the move this offseason. Now, I don't know if it's here, but I would like to think we're interested. Now, here's the thing with Russell Wilson. He's 33. And he's gonna buy you some time. He is going to be probably, and you can't really compare no one to Tom Brady, because what Tom Brady's doing is just crazy. But with this thing going on now, with quarterbacks playing into their 40s, and you can't really touch these quarterbacks, Russ could definitely play into his 40s. So that buys you some time to compete. That buys you some time to obviously make a run at this thing, but also possibly draft a guy. Probably draft a guy, and you probably wouldn't have to worry about drafting a guy this season, especially with the quarterback room or quarterback draft not being the best. I put that in air quotes because a lot of people feel like it is pretty good, but a lot of people also feel like it's bad. I don't know what side of the spectrum you guys are on. I'm on the spectrum of it's not the best. So you could get Russ. You could draft probably a first round, receiver, safety, cornerback, whatever you want to do then, and continue to stack this team. You can do that for the next, and you'll be competitive probably for the next decade. Because again, with these quarterbacks playing into their 40s, you're gonna have Russ for probably 11 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's assuming that he stays healthy. Again, you can't continue to compare these guys to Tom Brady, because what Tom Brady is doing is just crazy, and you've never seen anything like it. Let's talk about, is Russell Wilson even interested in coming to DC? Again, out of all three of these guys, I do think Russell Wilson is probably the most realistic. But again, I'm going to continue to sit on my horse and sit on this point. I don't think none of these guys want to come to Washington. They want to go to a winning contender. Now, I personally think we can be that, and all we missing is a quarterback. But them on the outside looking in, they don't see that. They probably don't see that. Again, they probably look at this roster and say, who is De'Ami Brown? Who is John Bates? Who is some of these young guys that we have that I'm going to be working with? I don't, outside of Terry McLaurin and maybe Logan Thomas and Antonio Gibson, I don't know these guys. And they want to go to a contender. Now, again, I could totally be awful on that point. But I just feel like these guys don't want to come to Washington. I don't know why I feel like that. I just think they want to go somewhere else. Denver. Other places. Washington just never seems like a high point for anyone or a key place for someone to want to come. Just because it's so much. Front office, coaching staff, players. It's just a lot. And we have a bad rep. Although we're trying to change this thing around, we still have a bad rep, right? So I don't think Russell Wilson is going to want to come here. That isn't going to stop Washington from at least trying to get him here. I would love if we got Russell Wilson, because again, he is 33, but that instantly makes us Super Bowl contenders. I really do think so. It instantly makes us Super Bowl contenders. We're easily going to be competing in the NFC. And again, I just love Russ. I do. But me loving Russ isn't going to get him here. Russ probably is going to end up leaving, but it probably won't be here. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a way to get a quarterback here in Washington. Again, we can talk about trades and all that all offseason, but it's more likely than not it's going to be draft. So we got to draft one of these young guys and see what they can do. I would love Russ. I would love Deshaun. I would love Derek. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's confident. I don't think it's likely. So yeah, man, there you have it. I just want to come on here quickly to talk about that. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. Just imagine Terry and Russ, man. Oh, man. Terry would be a 1,500-yard receiver each and every year. So yeah, man, it's been boy Juangotti. I'm out. Peace.